Top reasons to invest in real estate in Chicagoland. If you own a home in Chicagoland, or you are renting and wondering whether now is the time to buy, you are already thinking like a real estate investor. A primary home puts a roof over your head, but it can also be the foundation of long-term wealth, stability, and options for your family. At Illinois Star Realtors, we work every day with homeowners, future homeowners, and small investors across Niles, Chicago, and the northwest suburbs. Below are the top reasons real estate continues to be a powerful investment tool, and how to approach it with a clear local plan instead of guesswork. 1. Real estate builds long-term equity. You can actually use, when you rent, your monthly payment disappears the moment it is made. When you own, a portion of each mortgage payment goes toward principal, gradually increasing your ownership stake in the property. Over time, this creates equity, the difference between what your home is worth and what you owe on it. In many Chicagoland neighborhoods and suburbs, homeowners who bought thoughtfully and held their properties over longer periods have seen their equity grow through both loan paydown and market appreciation. That equity is not just a number on paper. It can often be used to move up to a larger home when your household needs change, fund major renovations that further increase value and comfort, help pay for education or other major life goals, or provide more options as you approach retirement. Equity gives you choices. For many families in the Chicago area, a well-bought home becomes their single largest asset over time. 2. You can live in your investment instead of paying someone else's mortgage. One unique advantage of real estate is that your investment can also be the place you live. A primary residence in Chicago, land gives you both shelter and a potential long-term wealth-building vehicle. When you own instead of rent, you gain stability. You are no longer subject to a landlord's decision to sell, raise rent unexpectedly, or not renew a lease. Control. You decide when to paint, remodel, or upgrade to make the home fit your lifestyle and taste. Predictability. With a fixed-rate mortgage, your principal and interest payment can stay consistent, even as rents around you change. For many Chicagoland buyers, the question is not, should I invest, but should my investment be my own home or someone else's? 3. Rental income can offset your housing costs. Another reason many people in Chicago and the suburbs turn to real estate is the potential for rental income. That can take different forms depending on your comfort level and goals. House hacking in Chicagoland. House hacking typically means living in one part of a property while renting out another. In our area, that might look like buying a classic Chicago 2-flat, living in one unit and renting the other. Purchasing a home with a legal garden or in-law apartment, or owning a small multi-unit building and occupying one of the units. The rent from the other units can help offset your mortgage payment and operating costs, effectively lowering your monthly cost of living while you build equity. Traditional rental or second property. Some owners choose to keep their current home as a rental when they move, or they acquire a separate investment property such as a condo, townhome, or small multi-unit. When the property is well-positioned, realistically rented, and responsibly managed, the income can help pay the mortgage, taxes, insurance, and maintenance, with the potential for positive cash flow over time. The key is honest numbers. At Illinois Star, we help clients look at realistic rents, expected expenses, and likely maintenance, so you are investing with your eyes open. 4. Real estate can help protect you from rising rents and inflation. Inflation affects almost everything in daily life, including the cost of housing. Rents can rise over time, and many renters feel that pressure every lease renewal. A well-structured real estate purchase can help you manage that risk. With a fixed-rate mortgage, your principal and interest payment can remain stable for the life of the loan. While taxes, insurance, and maintenance can change, you are not renegotiating your entire housing cost every 12 months the way renters often do. Property values and market rents also tend to respond over time to broader economic trends. When you own, you are positioned on the ownership side of those trends instead of absorbing them purely as a tenant. 5. Leverage. Control a large asset with a manageable down payment. Real estate is one of the few investments where everyday buyers can use widely available financing to control a large asset with a relatively modest amount of cash up front. This is called leverage. For example, a buyer in the Chicago area may bring a down payment and closing costs that represent a fraction of the property's purchase price. Yet, that buyer now controls the entire property, benefits from potential long-term appreciation, and builds equity with each principal payment. Leverage cuts both ways. It can amplify gains, but it can also amplify losses if you buy the wrong property, overextend your budget, or underestimate costs. That is why thoughtful planning, conservative numbers, and local guidance are so important. Our role is to help you structure the purchase so it fits your finances and your risk tolerance today and in the future. 6. Potential tax advantages. With the right advice. There can be meaningful tax benefits tied to owning real estate, especially when it comes to a primary residence or a properly structured investment property. These can include, depending on your situation and current law, items such as mortgage interest and property tax deductions, as well as the way certain home sale gains and investment property expenses are treated. Because tax rules change and every household is different, it is essential to review your exact situation with a qualified tax professional. At Illinois Star, our role is not to give tax advice, but to make sure you are asking the right questions and coordinating with the right advisors as you plan your purchase or sale. 7. Tangible, local, and under your control. Many investments are abstract, numbers on a screen that you cannot walk through or improve with a weekend's work. Real estate is different. You can visit the property, see its strengths and weaknesses, and decide how to make it more desirable. As an owner, you control key variables: when and how to maintain or upgrade the property, how to position it in the market, when you rent or sell, which professionals to hire, lenders, inspectors, attorneys, contractors, and whether to hold long-term, refinance, or sell and redeploy capital. For homeowners, that control also shows up in the everyday things. Choosing schools and neighborhoods thoughtfully, deciding when to remodel a kitchen or finish a basement, and creating a stable base where your family can grow. 8. Why Chicagoland remains a compelling place to invest. Not all real estate markets are the same. Chicagoland offers a mix of city and suburban options, property types, and price points that can support many different strategies, from buying your first home to adding a small rental portfolio over time. Across Chicago and the northwest suburbs, you will find classic brick bungalows, 2 flats, and 3 flats with strong rental potential, single-family homes in established neighborhoods with long-term owner demand, condos and townhomes near transit for buyers who value convenience and low maintenance, and suburban communities where buyers prioritize schools, parks, and yard space. Because Illinois Star Realtors focuses on this region every day, we are able to help clients match their budget and risk profile with the areas and property types that make the most sense for their goals, not just whatever pops up first in an online search. 9. The biggest risk: buying without a clear plan. Real estate is not a guaranteed shortcut to wealth. The biggest risks we see are not usually the market itself, but decisions made without a clear plan. Common trouble spots include overextending financially on a purchase that leaves no room for repairs or vacancy, underestimating renovation costs on a project property, buying in the wrong location for your long-term needs, or relying on overly optimistic rent or resale assumptions. A disciplined plan forces you to answer key questions up front. How long do you expect to own this property? What monthly payment are you truly comfortable with? How will you respond if interest rates, taxes, or your job situation changes? A thoughtful plan does not eliminate risk, but it makes that risk visible and manageable. 10. How Illinois Star Realtors helps you invest wisely. Our job is to help you use real estate as a tool for your life, not the other way around. Whether you are buying your first home or evaluating a small multi-unit, our process is practical and local. We start with your goals and timeline. Are you focused on lowering your long-term housing cost, building equity, creating rental income, or positioning for a future move-up home? We begin by clarifying what success looks like for you and when you need it to happen. We align budget, financing, and property type. Next, we help you coordinate with a trusted lender so you understand your purchasing power, likely monthly payment range, and different loan options. From there, we match that budget to realistic property types and locations across Chicago and the northwest suburbs. We evaluate properties with an investor's eye. When you tour homes with Illinois Star, you are not just walking through rooms. You are evaluating a financial decision. We look at how the price compares to similar recent sales, what repairs or updates are likely in the next few years, how the layout and location will appeal to future buyers or renters, and where the property sits within the neighborhood's broader market activity. We help you negotiate and manage risk offer terms, contingencies, inspection responses, and closing timelines all affect your risk and long-term return. We help you structure offers and negotiate so that you are not only getting the right price, but also protecting yourself on the details that matter. We stay with you after closing. Real estate investing is not a one-day event. We remain a resource for contractor introductions, future market check-ins, and strategy conversations. If you are thinking about refinancing, turning a home into a rental, or selling and reinvesting elsewhere in Chicagoland. 11. Ready to explore your real estate investment path? Whether your next move is buying a first home, downsizing, or adding a rental property, you do not need to figure it out alone. A short, focused conversation can help you see what is possible, what is realistic, and what the smartest next step might be. If you are ready to talk about how real estate fits into your long-term plan in Chicago and the Northwest suburbs, we would be honored to help. Call Illinois Star Realtors at 847-647-4000 or visit IllinoisStarRealtors.com to start a no-pressure, local strategy conversation. You've been listening to Tom Dudzinski, Managing Broker of Illinois Star Realtors. Return tomorrow for another local market briefing, or connect today at IllinoisStarRealtors.com or 847-647-4000, 847-647-4000.